At Dinosaur Adventureland, July the 19th, 2023. Is it getting warm out there or what? Yeah, plenty warm. Tonight we'll be talking in our Whack an Atheist program, which is why I've got the red on. Ernst Haeckel, back from the 1800s and early 1900s. Ernst Haeckel. We'll get there in just a minute. We're on, Rumble, on Genesis Baptist Church, on Dr. Dino YouTube channel. We're on Odyssey and a whole bunch more channels. See them all at drdino.com. There's our phone number, 855-BIG-DINO. I'm extension 3. What number are you, Joe? 4. If you have any questions about the internet, call Joe. Don't call me. Okay, I'm 3. Let's see. Tonight, July 19th, Ernst Haeckel, famous German atheist evolutionist back 100 years ago. And tomorrow night, Standing for Truth. It's a debate against what? One person?
One person at first, and then the second half is going to be the open mic.
Open mic. All you atheists, call in. Take you all on same time. Join our 777 club. Go to drdino.com. Say, I like what they're doing. If you can, give $1 a day, 31 bucks a month. And we can keep going. We're open for free. Have been for 7 years and 3 months. And we get real close to the budget of zero quite often. Actually, stay right about there. Talk to our trustees. They'll say, come help. Anyway, no super chats on YouTube. That's still not fixed. But if you go to, what do they click on our site, brother, to donate? On drdino.com, it's a donate page if you want to help. YouTube is what?
Our main page.
Main page? Okay. Make any checks to CSE, that's Creation Science Evangelism. Whack an Atheist Wednesday. It's a fun game we play here at DAL. It's based on the whack-a-mole game. They stick their head up, you whack them back down. Okay? If someone sticks their head up and says there's proof for evolution, whack them down with real science. It's fun, it's fast. When they stick their head up, and see how fast you can whack them back down. We're loving it. Even a small child can learn to play whack-a-mole. Kids, listen carefully. There is no, zero, zip, nada, no evidence of any animal or plant ever changing to something else. Baby cows always make baby cows. Giraffes always make baby giraffes. There are no exceptions. There is no evidence for evolution. So adults like our whack-a-mole game too, and our whack an atheist game. We wait for an atheist to stick his head up, make a silly claim that evolution is true, and then sweetly and swiftly whack them back down with real Christian love. Okay? Hey, welcome. Come on in, folks. Where are you from? Where are you from? New Zealand. Well, good day. Come on in. We just started our channel. We'll be down here a little bit. That's a long drive from New Zealand. I doubt you drove. Okay. Okay. Tonight, we've whacked quite a few. We're going to whack another one tonight. Some are hard-headed and must be whacked over and over again. And some just don't get it. They keep sticking their head up, making silly claims. I taught high schoolers in math for 15 years, and I'm used to this stubbornness, so I enjoy it. We're going to whack them back down. Tonight, the winner is Ernst Haeckel. Born 1834 in Germany, died 1919. He was the guy who was responsible mostly for making these silly, stupid, unscientific family trees. They don't exist anywhere in nature. They only exist in the textbook. Who was Ernst Haeckel? What did he do? Ernst Haeckel, the full name, Ernst Heinrich Philipp August Haeckel. Long name. Let's see. A German zoologist and evolutionist who was a strong proponent of Darwinism and who proposed new notions of the evolutionary descent of human beings. Britannica. Let's see. He promoted Darwin. Darwin was born earlier and was an older man when Haeckel did meet him a couple times, okay? Charles Darwin published the idea of a tree of life in 1859. 7 years later, German zoologist Ernst Haeckel painstakingly drew up a much more comprehensive tree. This represented Earth's wealth of species in the context of evolution, a concept he dubbed phylogeny. So here's the family trees he made. He said the plants, the single-celled creature, Protista, and the animals all go back to a common ancestor. This is absolute baloney, not true at all. It's propaganda. Let's see. The root of the tree symbolizes a common primordial ancestor from which all other forms emerged. Yes, so the whales came from bacteria, so did the kangaroos. That's the way they think. Haeckel developed his tree, almost 1,000 pages, basing it on paleontological, embryological, embryo, baby growing in the mother, and systematic data, a precursor to modern biology's phylogenetic trees. Wow. Let's see. German Darwin, Ernst Haeckel, was a key figure during the first Darwinian revolution, a time when the foundations of modern evolutionary theory were laid. It was Haeckel who crucially contributed to the visualization of the Darwinian theory by making genealogy trees. Contemporary evolution theory is unthinkable without notions coined by Haeckel, such as phylogeny. Here's a phylogenetic tree. He's got all the animals, all the bacteria, all the plants growing back to a common ancestor. This is called baloney, propaganda. He did extensive research and was a great artist and did lots of cool stuff on identifying all kinds of single-celled creatures, mushrooms. He really did a lot of good for science and came to the wrong conclusion. Totally wrong conclusion. Let's see. Phylogeny refers to the evolutionary history of a group of organisms, such as a tribe or racial group. So they put lines on paper connecting, let's see, the birds, dinosaurs, crocodiles, rodents, all going back to a common ancestor. This is propaganda, okay? Haeckel coined terms like ontogeny. Ontogeny is the growth of the baby inside the mother. Goes from single cell till it's finally born. That's ontogeny. They made up the phrase, ontogeny recapitulates phylogeny. Long word, means the baby growing in the mother goes through the stages of evolution. Haeckel's embryos, images, evolution, and fraud. Haeckel drew these embryos, deliberate fraud. He lied, okay? We cover that on video number 4 of my series, Creation Seminar Series. You can get on drdino.com. Let's see. Haeckel was an industrious German naturalist and advocate of Darwinism. He was so influenced by Darwin on the origin of species that he switched from a career in medicine to focus on a career in zoology. Haeckel made these charts. Anybody seen these before? They're in all kinds of biology textbooks. I probably got 80 of them here. Haeckel's evolutionary racism, his call to the German people for racial purity and unflinching devotion to a just state, his belief that harsh, inexorable laws of evolution ruled human civilization and nature alike, conferring upon favored races the right to dominate others. Whoa, Ernest, is one race of humans favored and should dominate the rest? This is like slavery? Oh, yeah. The irrational mysticism that always stood in strange communion with his grave words about objective science all contributed to the rise of Nazism. Haeckel's theory said one race has got to be superior. Well, the Germans looked in the mirror and said, we know it's got to be us, or it's got to be the blonde-haired, blue-eyed Norwegian wurde står till idag, ufta heder fella, you betcha, okay? Let's see. So there's a favored race. No matter how crooked the road was from Darwin to Hitler, clearly Darwinism and eugenics smoothed the path for Nazi ideology, especially for the Nazi stress on expansion. Hey, so we're a superior race. We should expand, take over the world. That's what they thought. War, racial struggle, racial determination. He thought the Germans were superior. Okay. Contemporary evolutionary theory is unthinkable without notions coined by Haeckel, such as phylogeny, ontogeny, phylum. Let's see, we have kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, species. He made up that word phylum. Haeckel's attack on supernatural religions has many facets. He unequivocally rejected revelation and theological faith, rejected the Bible. Okay? He was outspoken in combating the superstitions associated with the world's great religions. He scathingly attacked the influence of the church as an institution in politics and education. Okay. Ernst Haeckel, a hostile witness to the truth of the Bible. Creation.com's got a good article about him. Darwin's Doberman. Some people call him Darwin's bulldog, okay? Let's see. A professor of zoology named Ernst Haeckel. Not only is Haeckel largely responsible for turning Germany into an evolution-believing country, which led to Nazism, Hitler said, hey, the blonde-haired, blue-eyed race is superior. We really need to take over the world. Hey, go Hitler, okay. He sought to replace all traditional religion and Christianity with his invented philosophy as monism. Haeckel, who discovered and described hundreds of species, coined key terms such as ecology, that word came from him, and ontogenephylogeny. Wow. and was well known for his popularized version of the recapitulation theory. The baby growing in the mother goes through the stages. Just remember the word farm: fish, amphibian, reptile, mammal. It's all baloney, but that's what he taught, okay? World pantheism, Haeckel's monism. Let's see. In pantheism, an intramundane being is everywhere identical with nature itself. So nature is God. This is what they teach, okay? And it's operative within the world as a force of energy. Pantheism is the world system of the modern scientist, really. Okay. Hey, Ernst Haeckel is a monstrous paradox. On the one hand, he was a courageous critic of Christianity who formulated one of the most complete versions of pantheism, fostered a deep aesthetic appreciation of nature, and made the first attempt at founding an organized pantheist religion. His misguided interpretation of Darwinism led him to a brutal social ethic, which influenced and gave spurious scientific legitimacy to the Nazi program. This political side to Haeckel's thinking distorted and ultimately destroyed his religious efforts. Haeckel's background help explain the bundle of contradictions. He was born in Potsdam, Germany, the son of a senior civil servant. His formative adolescence occurred in abortive 1848 revolutions in German principalities. Okay, let's see. Haeckel. In 1865, he became professor of zoology at University of Jena, where he remained until his retirement. In 1909, after a long and distinguished scientific career, he died 1919. All right, let's see. From 1860, when he read a German translation of Darwin's Origin of Species, published the year before, 1859, Haeckel became a committed evolutionist. His own specialty was the study of marine invertebrates, invertebrate, no backbone, and protozoa. But he constantly spread out far beyond this base. From studies of taxonomy and comparative embryology, the babies growing in the mother, he developed his famous but now discredited biogenetic law. Well, if it's discredited, why is it still in so many biology textbooks? All kinds of, I got them right here, all kinds of modern textbooks still teach that dumb idea. Let's see. Humans were not separate and different from the rest of nature. Everything in the cosmos, all inorganic matter, and all life, including humans, had material, energetic, and psychic aspects. Even atoms had souls of a kind, though by this Haeckel meant only attraction, repulsion, crystallization. Let's see. In the 1892, Haeckel began calling for a creation of a monistic religion to spread beliefs. Unfortunately, he was so attached to his conservative, racist, eugenic policy program, he thought the blonde-haired, blue-eyed Norwegians were superior. Now, he might have been right on that one. You know, the blonde-haired, blue-eyed Norwegian for the store to Tilly dog. Okay, let's see. The Alliance became deeply concerned with advancing Haeckel's social programs, including his abhorrent ideas on eugenics and euthanasia. Let's see. The biogenetic law, called the recapitulation. Ernst Haeckel, 1866, has made up this recapitulation idea that the baby growing in the mother goes through the stages of evolution: fish, amphibian, reptile, mammal, farm. Haeckel discovered and described hundreds of species, coined such terms like ecology. He made up that word. He was well known for his popularist version of the recapitulation theory, embryonic development of animals. He was quite the artist. He did great artwork on different creatures that he saw. Now, the Bible says we should beware of false prophets, Matthew chapter 7, and they come bearing a false message. Haeckel was one of those. Jesus said, "Whoso shall offend one of these little ones that believe in me, he'd be better off to be drowned in the depth of the sea." Yep, they would be. He said there'd be scoffers come in the last days who would be willingly ignorant. Let me get to, hang on 1 second here. I forgot to go to a hyperlink I had in here. According to evolution, things get better automatically. I can't get it to work for me, though. Let's see. Oh, here you go. Seminar 4, 917. Alt-DV. Seminar Part 4, 917. Haeckel made up this idea of embryology, that the mother growing inside the baby has gills like a fish. This was proven wrong a few years after he proposed it back in the 1800s, but it's still taught in the textbook. Look at this. Evidence for evolution, evidence from development. Now, why are you still teaching that? That's proven wrong 100 years before. Let's see. The similarity between early stages in development helped convince Darwin all forms of life shared common ancestor. Well, you're right, it convinced Darwin, but it's not true. Why don't you say that? Darwin considered this embryology by far the strongest single class of facts in favor of his theory. He called it the biogenetic law. It is pure baloney. He made up the phrase, ontogeny recapitulates phylogeny. The growth of the baby in the mother reenacts the evolution. Still taught today, Irish textbook, the presence of fish-like structures. The embryo never has gills. You Irish, fire the guy who wrote this, okay? It's as if the embryo retains a memory of its origin and copies them during development. This is pure baloney. It's a lie. The evolutionary idea that sick mind Freud relied on was the idea that ontogeny recapitulates phylogeny. This is what motivated sick mind to believe what he believed. Okay? Embryology, still taught in textbooks. They say the embryo has gills like a fish. This is lie number 12 on my video number 4. Lies in the textbook. You might want to get that. The 4 brachial arches, supposedly gill slits. In real life, these develop into ear bones involved with sound and hearing, and thyroid gland, which produces hormones. Never have anything to do with breathing. Those little folds of skin are not gill slits. I've seen fat people with 5 or 6 chins. They can't breathe through any of them but the top one. Buick Roadmaster has gill ports. Oh, it's going to develop into a human. Haeckel said the turning point in his thinking was when he read Darwin's book in 1860, the year after it came out, translated to German. 1868, many evolutionists were worried about the lack of evidence. Haeckel, one of the worried evolutionists, decided to manufacture some evidence. The fraud began when he drew this family tree that we started this message with. He put everything going back to a common ancestor. But he was worried about the large gap between non-living and living. So he made up an animal called Monera, which never existed. There is no such thing. He made it up, okay? Haeckel claimed to have discovered these organisms in ocean mud samples. He named them Bathymus Haeckel in honor of Haeckel. Okay. 1875, John Buchanan revealed that Huxley's discovery was simply calcium sulfate from seawater. Haeckel refused to admit his fraud and reprinted the Monera drawings in his book, History of Creation. Haeckel's fraud continued with his attempt to prove the only difference between man and ape is that ape can speak. I think there's other differences, okay? He fraudulently created a missing link called Pithecanthropus alalis, which means speechless ape man. He went so far as to have artist Gabriel Marx draw up the creature. This is the missing link. It never existed. An artist made it up. Haeckel reached an all-time low. He began presenting the biogenetic law known as the law of recapitulation. He taught that each animal retraces the stages of evolution: fish, amphibian, reptile, mammal, farm. Here are the fake drawings that he used. Dog embryo at 4 weeks and a human embryo at 4 weeks. Well, there's Haeckel's fake drawings. Here's actual photographs. Now, either he's a lousy artist, which he was not. He was a great artist. Or he's a liar. Here's the charts that he made, showing this is evidence for evolution. Now, on top are Haeckel's drawings. Underneath are actual photographs of the creature at that stage in life. You say, wow, he's a lousy artist. No, he's a deliberate liar, okay? He was tried at the University of Jena, university court, said, Haeckel, you lied. He confessed and said, well, a small percentage of my drawings are forgeries, but only those that I couldn't, were incomplete or insufficient to fill in and reconstruct. He said, I should feel utterly condemned were it not that hundreds of the best observers and biologists lie under the same charge. Everybody else lies, so it's okay for me to lie. Despite its status as a fake, Darwin continued to use the biogenetic law as the most important evidence of common descent. The whole evolution theory is based on this lie. Darwin said in his next book, the human embryo at a very early period can hardly be distinguished from that of other members of the vertebrate kingdom. Charlie, you knew better. That was proven wrong. Haeckel lied. He faked the drawings, and you knew it, Charlie, didn't you? All these frauds were brought to public attention in 1911, Haeckel's frauds and forgeries, okay? What few people know, the pictures were fakes. The deceit was exposed in Haeckel's Frauds and Forgery in a book in 1911. He said it clearly appears that Haeckel has in many cases freely invented embryos or reproduced the illustrations given by others in a substantially changed form. It's a sin against scientific truthfulness. That was in 1915. Why is it still in the books today in 2023? And it is. Despite the exposure, Western educators continued to use Haeckel's pictures for decades. Dr. Michael Richardson, embryologist at St. George's Medical School in London, he said there's no record that anyone actually ever checked Haeckel's claims. He assembled a scientific team that did that, photographing the growing embryos of 39 different species. In 1997, London The Times, he said, "This is one of the worst cases of scientific fraud. It's shocking to find that somebody who thought was a great scientist was deliberately misleading. It makes me angry." What Haeckel did was take a human embryo and copy it, pretending that the salamander and pig and all the others look the same. They don't. They're fakes. Well, that was, 25 years ago? How come they're still teaching it in the books today? Grab the biology books, got a stack of them. Let's see here. Biology books used all over the country and other countries. He lied. There's his fake drawings on top. Underneath, they're actual photographs. Let's see, 1956, I was 3 years old. They said the biogenetic law as a proof for evolution is valueless. Well, then take it out of the book. The biogenetic law has become so deeply rooted it cannot be weeded out. The biogenetic law is as dead as a doornail. Haeckel was convicted of fraud at his own university, but the drawings persist. Here's a college textbook used in Pensacola 20 years ago, probably still using it. It's on the shelf right here somewhere. They got Haeckel's fake drawings, same drawings. 2005, Haeckel's fake drawings, downloaded 1 hour ago. Embryos do reflect the course of evolution from Berkeley website. But that course is far more intricate and quirky. Different parts of the same embryo can evolve in different directions. They're still teaching it. Berkeley, knock it off, okay? This book, Icons of Evolution, I don't know if we sell that or not. Excellent book and website showing how this has been proven wrong. So Darwin's book came out 1859. He predicted we're going to find evidence. Haeckel faked his drawings 10 years later. He was convicted of fraud in 1875, 6 years later. Okay? His own university held a trial and said, "Ernst, these drawings are frauds." Yeah, he said, "I know, okay." But they're still using it today. Haeckel's drawings, saying it has gills. Why do they keep this in the textbook? Tim Barra still using Haeckel's drawings 115 years after it's proven wrong. Let's see. Kenneth Miller, Catholic biology teacher in Rhode Island, claims he uses Haeckel's drawings. Miller still teaching it. Miller, Kenneth, knock it off. Or else you better do 10 billion Hail Marys while you climb up the stairs for repentance, okay? Embryonic development still being taught. Holt science. The presence of gills and tails in the early stage. This is a lie, propaganda. It says it has fish-like structures. No, it does not. Stop lying. Humans and fish embryos resemble each other because humans and fish share a common ancestor. What is that? Holt biology. Knock it off, guys. That's a lie. Let's see. Turtles, chickens, and rats look similar during the early stages. These similarities are because they have a common ancestor. Tiny gill slits. They are not gill slits. They never are, never were. They keep it in all the textbooks, though. Haeckel made this up. Evolutionary History of Organisms Seen in Development of Embryos. That's Holt, a major publisher of textbooks in America. Still used in 2004 on the SAT test. Well, how's a kid supposed to get a high score on SAT if he knows the truth? He's going to answer that one truthfully and get it counted wrong, isn't he? Let's see. Embryos, can't read that, of some vertebrates show great similarity, really. Gill slits and tails are found in fish, chicken, pig, human embryos. You're wrong. You're lying. Stop lying, okay? 2004, what's this? AP Biology. Let's see. Human embryo develops gill slits. No, it doesn't. They're never gills. They can never breathe through them. Still taught in the life science book, Glencoe Biology, saying, the presence of gill slits and tails shows they have a common ancestor. They're using Haeckel's fake drawings. This is in 2000. Let's see, how long is that after it's proven wrong? 150 years later? About time to get up to date, you biology textbook author. 2005, still teaching at Oklahoma University, gill pouches. Embryology, gill pouches and tails. Northern Michigan University, still teaching, it has gill pouches. Look, if you have evidence for evolution, please show it, but stop using this one. This is lying. When I debated Rachel Oates in England, I think she is, she said, that's evidence for, she said, I'm lying. No one is using gill slits as evidence for evolution. And I showed her all the modern textbooks are still using it. Aren't they, Rachel? Come on, Rachel, I'll debate you again anytime. Bring it on, okay? Everybody call Rachel Oates and say, Ken Hovind's challenging you to a debate. Again, sweetly in Christian love, okay? Embryos and evolutionary history. That was in 2017. Still teaching it. Evolution with embryology. They used Haeckel's fake drawings. Proven wrong, let's see, 2017, long time before that. Evolution and embryology from BioZoom. Rational conclusion, still using these drawings. Evolution with embryology, SlideShare, 2018. Common traits in embryos. All these life forms have gill slits. You are lying or stupid. Which is it? It's one of those two, I promise you, okay? Evidence for evolution, anatomy and embryology. Wow. Non-aquatic vertebrates exhibit gill slits. No, they're not. They're folds of skin, okay? Kent, you're a wretched liar. Amongst all other vile things, it's not claimed that those are gill slits. It's claimed that they are structures which resemble gills and form into gills in the animals which actually have them. So it is never claimed that we have gills at any point in development. Demos, really. Think of it this way. We have tails forming during our early development, yet a proper tail never forms. We do not have true and proper tails, yet we still go through stages which give us a structure which resembles one. The end result is our coccyx. Same principle in a way, in a vague sense. No, I'm sorry. What was the name? Demas. I'll debate you anytime. While standing for truth, I have a debate tomorrow on there. Take you all on same time. They're still teaching it as gill slits in Glencoe biology. There's all the biology books here. What, about 80 of them? Come search it. It's in all of them. Embryology, student guide, top secret, only view one at the end. Why are they still in a student guide still telling they have evidence for evolution? Evidence for evolution, embryology. This is baloney. Weist Rhino, who I debated, has evidence for evolution as the gill slits. Embryology. How do comparative embryology and biochemists support evolution? This is the stuff they're teaching. Turtles, chickens, and rats look similar during the early stages of development. They have tiny gill slits. This is from Life Science Junior High, Prentice Hall, one of the top 4 publishers in America. They're lying or stupid. Tell them I said so, okay? No other choice. Still teaching it has gill slits, gill slits, gill slits. You can go watch my video number 4 where I cover a lot of this. It's still being taught. Kent State University, teaching the gill slits. Still teaching the gill slits. Answers in Genesis has a great article on this. Highly recommend that you go there and watch that. Embryological evidence for evolution. Comparative embryonic development helps determine evolutionary relationships. They got Haeckel's fake drawings. Proven wrong in 1874. Comparative embryology. Still using Haeckel's fake drawings. Just Google comparative embryology. It's all over the place. They are lying, okay? Images for human embryo gill slits. Just Google it. They're right there. Look at me. They're not gill slits. They never are gill slits. Gill slits and a tail. Gill slits, gill slits. This is propaganda, okay? It's not science. It says they share a common ancestor. Ancestors were the fish, really. Evolutionary News claiming we have gill slits. Okay. Nurse, I saw a preborn baby trying to get away from abortion instruments. Really? I really did see an ultrasound-guided abortion that made me pro-life. Do human embryos have gills? Why or why not? Ben Wagner said, human embryos have gill slits. Ben, you know better. Stop lying, okay? Those folds of skin develop into bones in the ear and glands in the throat. Let's see. The short answer, humans never have gills. Don't normally open up the way fish gills do. We do definitely have the same basic structures, pharyngeal arches, that go through to form gills in fish. We've just evolved to modify them for purposes other than extracting oxygen. Ben, I'll debate you again anytime. Bring it on. You and your whole staff, take all of you on. You're lying or you're stupid. You understand? Those are not gill slits. Stop teaching that. If that's all you've got as evidence for your religion is lies, get a new religion. I debated Ben Wagner. I don't know what Central Arkansas, I forget what debate number it is. It's in our, we got about 30 or 50 of them now available. You can have the entire science faculty, University of Central Arkansas, on your side. I get half the time. We'll start with gill slits on embryos. Bring it on, Ben. Come on. Everybody call Ben Wagner, University of Central Arkansas. Say, Kent Hovind's challenging you to another debate. Tell you what, Ben, I'll pay for you to come down here, have the debate right here, and tour Dinosaur Adventureland. Would you do that, please? I want to get you converted, okay? Professor Dave, still teaching this insanity a couple years ago when I debated him. Dave, is one of his evidences for evolution, said vertebrate embryos look very similar. He used Haeckel's fake drawings. Didn't you, Dave? Bible says all liars. Man. Well, false against marriage. Let's see. Thou shalt not kill. Each man, I am tired. Anyway, we'll just go up to the end here. So they got a little. Oh. Okay. I'm tired. Okay. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, let's see. Since we touch them, evolutionists, where there is no God or modern absolute. He, a football player, doesn't deserve the judge jaw evolution grave concern him. Look for his jaw. It won't be his body. Revelation, Klebold, on the video, he and Eric made prior to the dark shootings. He was a geologist, his father was, and Eric and Darlin were followers of Hitler's Nazi teaching. They shot Isaiah Shoals just because he was black. Eric's shirt said natural selection. Dylan's shirt said wrath. They followed Hitler, who believed evolution. Let's see. Blaming guns for Columbine is like blaming spoons for Rosie O'Donnell being fat. Yes, I think she is fat because of the spoons, okay? And I think the stuff that they teach in these crazy tail guides is causing evolution to be accepted. Should certain criminals be publicly executed? Should all law-abiding citizens carry guns to protect themselves? Would you wear this? I'm proudly unarmed. Now, if you wear that on your van, what does that say to a criminal? Rob me, I don't have any arms. Yeah. The purpose of the amendment, Second Amendment, was not so we can go duck hunting, so we can protect ourselves from our own government if need be. Many animals have long horns and eat grass. You don't need a long horn to eat grass, but that's to protect you from somebody who tries to stop you from eating grass. Mm-hmm. Here's the reasons people use to justify abortion. I say it's not human. It was proven wrong in 1874. It's not viable. Can't live on its own. That's proven wrong. You're not viable stark naked on the North Pole either. So should we kill you? They say the child may be unwanted. How many kids that are born are unwanted? Should we kill them? Child may be unwanted. It's a financial burden. Oh, show me a kid that's not. Maybe from rape or incest. Well, what happens if it's 5 years later? I asked an atheist one time. He said, we should be allowed to kill a baby if it's conceived by rape. I said, okay, suppose a mother has the baby. 5 years later, she's feeding it breakfast, and she remembers the rape and remembers the horrible example, and she kills her son, 5 years old. Should she be arrested? He said, well, yeah. I said, it's the same kid, same rape. What's different? Pro-choice, pro-choice. Well, if it's really pro-choice, should we give freedom of choice to the baby, to the mother? Who gets the choice anyway? The father, the doctor, the governor, the past presidents? Should they get choice? And we go on for all day on my video number 4 about lies in the textbooks and abortion and how it ties in. But this all goes back to Ernst Haeckel. Haeckel started this crazy idea. 1936, German Supreme Court refused to recognize Jews living in Germany as persons. So when they were persecuting and stringing up and killing the Jews by the millions, it was perfectly fine. Creation magazine. Hitler said, I have the right to exterminate an inferior race. Well, Hitler, who's an inferior race? When I was preaching in Germany, I toured the Flossenburg concentration camp, saw where they did it. Hitler thought the Germans were the superior race. Both the churches in Germany, and Catholic and Protestant, believe in theistic evolution. Both of them believe God's method of creation was to wipe out the handicapped and to wipe out the less fit. Adolf Eichmann. They killed the Jews by the millions. I preached all over Germany, been studying it for most of my life. He thought the German Führer sought to make the practice of Germany conform to evolution. Hitler said, I can only hope and expect the other world, which has such deep sympathy for these criminals, talking about the Jews, would convert it to practical aid. He said, if you want the Jews, I'll send them to you on luxury ships. Roosevelt refused to let them come because they're an inferior species, weren't they, Mr. Roosevelt? Hitler's book was captivated by evolutionary thinking. Evolutionary ideas lie at the basis of all that is worked. He thought it was the duty of the strong to trample the weak. Hitler said, no more than nature desires mating of weaker with stronger individuals, even less does she desire blending of a higher with a lower race. Here's Hitler's list right here. Hitler thought the Norwegian, the blonde-haired, blue-eyed, are close to pure Aryan. What do you think, brother? Was he right? Blonde-haired, void is toward a The Germans, brown-haired, blue-eyed, or less desirable brown-eyed, are predominantly Aryan, okay? Mediterranean, slightly Aryan. Slavic, half Aryan, half ape. Oriental, slightly ape. Black, predominantly ape. Jewish, close to pure ape. So Hitler thought he was doing the world a favor by killing the Jews. He also hated blacks. But the Olympics were held in Germany, 1936, and a black American athlete won the most gold medals. Hitler refused to shake hands with him. Hitler said, I regard Christianity as the most fatal, seductive lie that ever existed. He was Time Magazine's Man of the Year, 1938. He singled out biological evolution as the most forceful weapon. The Bible says all nations are of one blood. We all have one Father. Anyway, enough for tonight. Charles Darwin motivated and influenced greatly Ernst Haeckel to become an evolutionist and to spread his religion. He lied to give evidence for the theory, and his lies are still being taught today. Atheists, if you really value truth, would you help me get those lies out of the textbook? Go to your local high school, look at their book. If they're still teaching it, say, teacher, our atheist club will get together and we will volunteer to cut out the pages that teach this. Come on now. You like science? You like honesty? No, you don't. All right, questions real quick, and then we've got time for a part of our tour if you want. You guys been driving all day from across the ocean? That's a long drive. Okay, any questions or comments? Let's see. Haeckel's pictures are irrelevant as to whether embryos are similar. For example, crybaby. Let's see. Well, crybaby, let me see here. Slide number. Let me show you here, crybaby. Now pay attention, okay? Here are, I went through this earlier. All right, coming up. Let's see. Here. On top are Haeckel's drawings. Underneath are actual photographs. Crybaby. The embryos are not alike. If they were, that still would not prove common ancestry. It would prove common creator. Did you know when Ford trucks come down the assembly line, they bit the frame and the tires first? I think they do at Chevy too, don't they? That's proof they're related to a Honda. No, it's a common sense means of production, okay? So I'm sorry, you are wrong. Let's see. See, science. If evolution theory was true, why are they so strapped to claimable evidence for their theory? They don't have any evidence for evolution. I've been saying for a long time, I'd pay a bunch of money to see real evidence for evolution. There is none. It's a religion. Nothing scientific about it. Nothing scientific. It's a pure religion. Go ahead. So Haeckel was convicted of fraud and said, yep, I faked the drawings. Okay. Fishing. To knowingly fake drawings as evidence to prove your theory means your theory sucks. He wanted to be so true, so bad. And LOL, sorry, Ernest. Yep, there's his fake drawings on top. Now, he was a good artist, and he knew he was faking those drawings. He knew that. But it worked. They're still teaching it 100 years later. How many people have been deceived by that? Millions? Okay, let's see. Any more?
Yes, sir.
That's it. Thank you for joining us. We'll give you guys part of our tour here tonight. The kids ready to go for a ride? Huh? You're from what country again?
New Zealand.
New Zealand. How did you hear about us way over here?
Raised on this stuff.
Okay, you're raised on this stuff. Good. And we like stirring up trouble. See you tomorrow. If you have any questions, 855 Big Dino extension. What are you, brother? 4. Okay. Spread these around. Tell others about us. Again, our channel on YouTube keeps going up and up and up. More and more subscribers. Tell your friends about it. See you tomorrow. Bye.